All right, my friends, it's that time of the year slash episode season save. Anyway, we're going to do the end of season awards and just kind of do a little bit of an overview of maybe some planned changes to the squad and kind of see how it ends up. But mostly the end of season awards, like commercial summary and stuff like that. So let's get right to it. All right, my friends, welcome in. Thanks again for your patience. I kind of had a heck of a week at work last week and just haven't had time to record. But here we are, and I love that it defaults to I guess it's the one with the star, signing of the season. So that gives it away. In case you hadn't left your comments already, I think you guys already did on the previous episode. So transfers in Fernando Gonzalez, 20.5 million, 36 appearances, 1 sub with a 1 massive goal and 2 assists, but a 706, not bad. I think Tinoco, but he obviously didn't play nearly as many games, but a 737 in the games he did play, not bad. Olivier Boscagli with the 12 substitute appearances and 9 starts. Also, I think a pretty good signing. They give him a C. Tinoco gets a B-. Horst gets a B-. Gonzalez gets a B-. Carlos Martinez, I think you could argue, is a signing of the season. I mean, at 18 goal contributions with 10 goals and 8 assists in 34 total appearances. I mean, he did have the number of minutes, I suppose, as Gonzalez, but like, you know, we got him on essentially a loan for not much money. Like, we didn't pay a loan fee, right? Like, that's a good signing if you ask me. And then Gustavo Patino, I should say, didn't play for us, so he gets a C+. Transfers out. I just think that rating is like, oh wow, but like he's playing for Young Utrecht, so C+, and B- for Castillo. Jonathan Augustinson on a C. Andrade gets a D because they thought, you know, we sold him for less than what we could sell him for, but you know, I kind of disagree. And then anything else, a D for Van der Aren, same thing, selling him for less than that they thought he was worth. Luis gets a C+, Kishna gets a C. So they were kind of like, they're okay. Loans out Tinoco, you know, I don't understand why they're disappointed. It was part of the agreement when we signed him. Veldman got some minutes. Maleka got good minutes. I was really happy with that loan with Hanover. And the €900 loan fee, which essentially makes up for it's essentially paying his full wages because it wasn't a full wage loan, but whatever. But he got 36 starts, like in the Bundesliga on a 682. Real good. And then Silas Anderson with the 36 starts and 4 subs. That's a lot of appearances for Aalborg Boldspiegelb. So interesting stuff there. We won the league. A+, the board's happy. Of course they are. They should be. 84 points. You can see, I mean, whoop-de-doo. 97% home attendance, so I guess that's why we're building a stadium. Got to the quarterfinal. We get a B+ for that. I think that's harsh. I think anything less than an A is harsh for a club that wasn't supposed to get to the quarterfinal, but did. And in all fairness, like, we came so close. If we could have gotten an away goal, or I mean, a home goal, we would have sent Bayern packing, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. Runner-up in the Dutch Cup, of course, disappointing because of the penalty situation, and then we lost the Super Cup, which I don't really care about. Moments to remember? Did I click on it? I didn't, apparently. Biggest win, 5-1 over Dordrecht, our affiliate. 4-1 over Atalanta. I would say that's the match to remember versus just the biggest win. Goal of the season, I took a look at it, and it was okay. It was okay. Finances, Barak, Panya, Cassoni, Arnell, dadgummit, Nagorin, Selena, almost 9,500 shirts sold. So, you know, 1.35 million in merchandise sales. We are, you know, doing a good job from a reputation standpoint. Everything's up except broadcast revenue, which is kind of weird when you think about it, considering we made a run to the quarterfinal of the Champions League and made it to the final of the Dutch Cup. Okay. How we lined up, essentially our best team: Carranza, Cassoni, Barak, Panya, Hans, surprising with Diaz, Alois, Gila, Selena. They've got Selena as the right center back, which is hilarious, and Gonzalez and Nekemia between the sticks, playing a 4-2-3-1. You were all here for that. Fans play of the season, though, goes to Cassoni, and he gets the young player of the season. He does the sweep. Gonzalez, we already saw it, as the signing of the season. Goal of the season was for Barack. Top goal scorer with 19, Carranza. 15 assists for Barack. Easy for me to say. 6 players of the match for Carranza. Diaz with 64 passes completed per 90. I don't know if I've ever noticed that stat. Maybe I mentioned it last time. I don't remember. So highest transfer fee paid. We paid 20.5 for Gonzalez. We sold Luis. I thought that was a good deal for 11 million. History in the making. Won the league. Yippee. Skippy. There you go. So adding to our overall best 11 is Pedro Diaz, who makes the bench. Panya is here. So I think what happened was Panya might have been on the bench the last time because Vecchia was here last season. But then I think Panya, because he's now been here, he's taken that spot. But he's not a new addition, essentially. Kind of like we've got Leopold here and Nekemia here. So you would think eventually Nekemia might take that spot. Augustinson, same thing, still is our best left back. So that's what's going on there, my friends. Let's go take a look. Or we already kind of looked at the commercial summary, but just let's look at some of the ones of the best 11. Where are they now, right? So Zingerle is playing for Borussia Mönchengladbach as the backup. Good for him. But I mean, he played in, well, okay, it's the whatever that's called, the Continental Conference, Europa, whatever. That thing. Augustinson for Brighton Hove Albion as a squad player. 2 substitute appearances. He's making good money. He doesn't care. Shaq for Anderlecht. You know, got 20 total appearances on a 6-6-1. Not so good. Kishna playing for Akhmat with the 3 starts and 2 subs on a 6-6-3. Sorry, brother. Luis for Watford, you know, with the 6 starts and a sub. 6.8. Ooh, unhappy. The promise made to convince him to sign has been broken. But he's making 52 grand, so, is what it is, brother. Vecchia for Rime is on 2 starts, 6. As you can tell, we're kind of glad we jettisoned some of these guys. Pete Bayan, who was well past his expiration date, getting 32 starts in the Hungarian division. Interesting times, my friends. I've got an upcoming versus situation for in support of a Just Giving page for a Hungarian girl who's 6 years old that FM Greeno knows that lost both of her parents within apparently hours of each other, the COVID-19. So we're doing a fundraiser. That'll be on the channel in a couple days, so stay tuned for that. So I saw the Hungarian thing. I was like, oh, Hungarian division. I didn't get a Hungarian Division 1 team. We'll just say that for that situation. All right, so taking a look at the squad here. I'm kind of frustrated. I have yet to find a goalkeeper, 1, that we can afford, and 2, that will, I found a goalkeeper that I'd love to grab, but they're making 50 grand a week, and even if we could afford the transfer, which is 24 or 30 million, something like that, they don't want to come here because we're not a good enough squad. And so I kind of feel like the upcoming season is one of transition. Because I'm getting frustrated. We're continuing to have this transfer budget, and we've got the wage budget / transfer budget available to make some big signings. But I'm also a little wary of dynamics, right? If I go sign somebody, I mean, Gonzalez is the first one, right? 45,500 a week when one of his center back partners is on 11 grand and his goalkeeper is on 7 or 3,900 a week. It's there's going to be a disparity, I feel like. To really get the squad to the next level, we're going to have to start splashing some cash on some larger salaries, which is fine. But I just wonder if that's going to be weird. It's hey, we won the title, and now that guy's here, and he's making 5 times as much as me, or 15 times as much as me, or whatever. It's sorry. Bender continues to be unhappy, but theoretically has the higher potential than Nikemia. So I wish I could find a way to make Bender happy, but I can't. So I'm gonna adjust to what I think our best squad is gonna be, at least from a planning standpoint. I think that's pretty much it there. So if we could get him a little bit of ability, I mean, okay, you could swap in Nikemia, right? Like, it's so close, it doesn't really matter. Gonzalez, Gila, I do want Lucas Cruz to get more time because he's got the potential to kind of be really, really good. And so, and he's only squad player minutes. So essentially, Gila, Cruz, Selena can do the left back, obviously, as well. But we're also going to have Maleka back. He can he's 5'11". I don't necessarily want to make him the the cover person, but we also have Tanoko. So I think I've got enough center backs from this standpoint. We got Selena, Hatham Aluz can play. He's going to be like, I was happy he accepted the squad player demotion, and so he's going to be our backup left and right back, essentially, like first choice backup for either of those options, right? So with that, I kind of feel like Lewis Nielsen needs to go. And I love him, but he's falling down the pecking order from the center back spot, which is like his best role. And he's now going to be like third string on the right back. 'Cause it's like he's not in the top two of any position he plays. And so it's kind of like, I mean, if we could get 6 million for him, I mean, who wants him? Sporting, I mean, you go make a lot of money, and he's a regular starter. And I haven't tried, giving him the squad player designation, but I just don't think that's going to go very well. And I want to give Aaron Zimmerman a chance because he's got high potential. Now, he's kind of the same thing. Like, he's a center back that can play right back, but could we turn him into a right back? There's enough time. He's 17 going on 18 heading into the next season. So I kind of feel like Nielsen can go. I'd like to potentially Olivier's fine, right? But he's worth $4.5 million. We paid 2.1, and he's wanted by some clubs, and we're paying him 21 grand a week, which is essentially $1 million. So could we sell him for 4.5 and essentially cash out $1 million or $1.5 million in profit? He's not going to get any better. He's a good coverage guy. I got no qualms with him, but could we find a better coverage guy, right? Veldman, you'll note we've already sold. I can't remember if that was during the season or not. I think it was to Sporting, so he's gone. He just wasn't going to be good enough. So that would leave us essentially with Selena and Al Luz as our left back options, pending being able to pick another one up, right? So let's do this. So Zimmerman stays, Maleka stays. Let's see. I think I'm gonna sell Diaz again. I'll explain why, but let me just add and drop these folks here. I think maybe Silas stays. I can't. You can't see him, but essentially, I think these players are gonna go. Pavlovich, not good enough. Veldman already going. Silas has a chance, but I want to he's getting good minutes, right? He's got 28 starts here. He had 18 starts there. But from a development standpoint, I kind of want him to be best buds with Jean-Philippe. And so I think he stays as a, 21 but still developing type option. We got enough time. We got 2 years left on his contract to see how the next year of development goes. And then we either sell him or, he becomes the next Jean-Philippe, because Jean-Philippe's only got a year left. We could extend him maybe, but I want to monitor his physicals to see how they start falling apart, essentially. You could argue maybe Ratier goes, maybe. It depends on how much you have a fuss he makes about wanting a new contract. I think we're going to get good value for $3.5 grand, right? He gave us 10 starts, 12 subs, 3 goals, 5 assists on a 6.98 for $3.5 grand. That's not bad. But he's also worth $7.5 million. So could we cash in? I want a new right winger. Oh, we're also going to lose Carlos. Okay, so that's where Silas can slide in there. Okay. So for Carranza, we've got Patino as the backup, Stassen as a quasi backup. He can also play the shadow striker. He can also play right wing, but not exceptionally well. Even Steinman theoretically can do the false nine. Cassoni, you've got Cassoni and Horst Barak, you've got a whole bunch of midfielders. Armel being one of those. Horst can play the attacking mid center. Stassen can. Hans can. So I think we're covered there. So I would like a better right winger. Not a better one. A better, like a Horst, right? High potential, 2.5 star. Not gonna take Panya's minutes. Work your way up. That type of a right winger. And then, if we found a stud central midfielder on defend where you could swap out Jean-Philippe for, I'd take it. But I think this is the beginning of the transition where it's like, okay, I'm gonna make some big changes, or I'm gonna sell some long-standing players in Nielsen, and Diaz. I guess you could count him as long-standing. He's been here for now 3 seasons. His value's gone down, but I just don't think he's gonna be another Evan Rautier. Like, he's gonna be fine, but could we cash out and give those minutes to somebody like Anderson? Now, some of you may argue Anderson's not good enough right now, but it's like, well, he's got that potential, that 4 star. He just needs some time around the team, right? So give him a chance. Same thing with Maleka. Again, maybe you could argue we need another like really good striker to challenge Carranza. I'm just hoping Gustavo is that. So he's not there yet, 2.5 star, but can we get him there? And again, if I could find a left back, I would take it. I just am struggling to find one. So I'm curious what your thoughts are there. From a finances standpoint, it says that, we're currently at 12.6, and next season's minimum guaranteed wage transfer budget is going to be 6.64. So I'm hoping it doesn't go down. And the wage budget is going to go back to $575,000, which is going to, obviously give us a big opportunity to bolster the transfer budget to go make some big signings. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm curious what your thoughts are on that. Overall, again, yes, is it disappointing to lose on penalties? Of course it is, but I feel like that's FM hating me, to be honest with you. It's not disappointing to go out against Bayern, except for the fact that if we'd just gotten one home goal where they didn't score, we would have been to the next round. But like, you're playing with house money at that standpoint, right? It's like, okay, we got knocked out at the quarterfinal of the Champions. Like, oh, what was me? But my friends, that's where we're going to end today's episode. If you've enjoyed that, hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts on you kind of building that squad. Do you agree? Like, this is the upcoming window or season where we stop paying $10,000 for regular starters and we start paying like 30 or 50 grand for regular starters. What are your thoughts? Hit that like button. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.